We need God. Find out why in this episode of 5 Minutes Closer. I'm Vaughn Weatherford, and this is 5 Minutes Closer. For the next 5 minutes, let's explore some biblical truths and apply them to your life. No podcast, including this one, can transform your life or give you what you really need. Only Jesus can do that. You can find out why in what I've called the first five episodes of 5 Minutes Closer. Each following episode explores scriptural truths that, if you follow them, will bring you 5 minutes closer to the person God created you to be. Let's see if we can get you 5 minutes closer. I tried to make chocolate chip cookies, but forgot to add flour to the mixture. My cookies melted into a giant puddle of goo running off the cookie sheet's edge all over the bottom of the oven. After an afternoon of cleaning melted chocolate chips off the oven burners, I learned my lesson. Cookies need flour. Moses had learned his lesson. More than anything, he and the people of Israel needed God. After the debacle with the golden calf, Moses goes to meet with God. It's recorded in Exodus chapter 33, starting with verse 15. And he said, "My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest." And he said to him, "If your presence will not go with me, do not bring us up from here. For how shall it be known that I have found favor in your sight, I and your people? Is it not in your going with us, so that we are distinct, I and your people, from every other people on the face of the earth?" The people of Israel had attempted to make their own God. The one true God knew that wouldn't work. He tells them in Exodus chapter 33, verse 3, "Go up to a land flowing with milk and honey, but I will not go up among you, lest I consume you on the way, for you are a stiff-necked people." Moses knew how much he and the people needed the presence of God. So he went to the Lord and reaffirmed his personal commitment to God. As he did, God reaffirmed his presence with Moses. We all need to do the same thing throughout our lives, to reaffirm our need for the Lord and our commitment to him. We need God. Moses knew he could not lead the people of Israel through the wilderness. It was only through the presence of the Lord that he would survive. As Moses seeks a word from God, this is what he hears in Exodus chapter 33, verse 17. "And the Lord said to Moses, 'This very thing that you have spoken, I will do. For you have found favor in my sight, and I know you by name.'" Moses could not have heard sweeter words. I know you by name. Deliverance from slavery, safety, provision through the wilderness, the entrance into the promised land, all of that meant nothing without God. But hearing God's promise, "I am pleased with you and I know you by name," that meant everything. Hearing from God that God knew him, Moses could move forward in whatever was to come. You can too. Athletes describe what they call the home field advantage. The biggest advantage of playing on your own home field is the crowd. When the game is on the line, you're exhausted and don't think you can run another play. Suddenly, the cheers of the crowd fill your ears, and you find that last bit of energy to win the game. You can do it when they're cheering your name. Sometimes in life, we've just reached the end of our rope. Whether we face a crisis that presents an enormous challenge, or we seek to serve and minister, but the need is just too great, the temptation is to give up. Moses had reached just such a point in his life. The people were too rebellious. He was too old, and the journey was too long. How could he go on? Then God told him, "I am pleased with you and know you by name." God had not forgotten him, and God has not forgotten you. As you seek to follow God's will, there will be those times when it seems too much. Before that time comes, take time to meet with God. Listen to hear from the Lord. Like Moses, you can go on when you know God knows you by name. You can move forward in Christ. And now, you're 5 minutes closer. My prayer is that these 5 minutes have challenged you, inspired you, and caused you to consider applying God's message for your life from His Word. To find out more, visit our website at 5minutescloser.com. Join me next time to see if we can get you 5 minutes closer.